Hi, I'm Nathan from Profiles of Southern Africa, and the focus of what we do at Profiles of Southern Africa is we grow human capacity. And the way I like to describe capacity is as follows, and I like to use a very practical example. If I had to take a glass, and I take a jug filled with water or filled with goodness, and I pour that water into the glass, and I pour and keep pouring, eventually what's going to happen is it's going to overflow. Why? Because the capacity of the glass is not enough to hold the goodness of the jug. And that's exactly the same in life. We all have a different capacity. Some people are small tot glasses. Other people tend to be the glass itself, and yet other people tend to be the jug in terms of their capacity. And this is such a vital principle to understand, especially when dealing with people, simply because we tend to go through life and we judge people based upon our own expectation of those people. For example, we expect people to make decisions in certain ways, and we judge them based upon that. We expect people to think like we do, and we tend to judge them based upon that. But as we embrace the principle of capacity, what starts to happen is we become less judgmental and less critical of people, and we start to act with more love and more compassion towards people. Now, if you ever look at capacity and the idea of capacity, if I have a capacity down here, that's what I tend to attract into my life, no more, no less. If I have a capacity up here, that's what I tend to attract into my life, no more, no less. And the important thing to understand about capacity is that it's actually a person's self-image. And the self-image is made up of 5 very specific things. It's made up of self-trust, self-love, self-acceptance, self-respect, and self-worth. And often what tends to happen is we go through life, and without even knowing it, we tend to break our self-image down by doing things that we're not supposed to be doing, or by not doing the things that we are supposed to be doing. And that's how we tend to break our capacity down as individuals. That's how we tend to break our self-image down. So very similar to that concept of capacity, if my self-image is down here, that's what I tend to attract into my life, no more, no less. If my self-image is up here, that's what I tend to attract, no more, no less. Now, when it comes to hiring and promoting within organizations around the world, what we've noticed is if I have a job that requires the jug, often what we tend to do is we try to save money, and we hire a glass, and we expect the glass to perform like a jug. And when the glass does not perform like a jug, we send it on training, expecting it to perform like a jug when it comes back into our work environment. And when it comes back into the work environment, it's still a glass. And so what we tend to do then is we tend to put systems into place to try and micromanage the glass so that we can try and get it to be like a jug, but it's never going to happen. And so what we always say at Profiles of Southern Africa is if the job requires a glass, hire a glass. If the job requires a jug, hire the jug. And one of the assessments that we use is a tool called the Profile XT, which helps to measure your people within your organization. Often what tends to happen is we try to go about and we treat everyone the same. The example I like to use is if I had to buy a new laptop or buy a new camera or a new projector, it comes with an instruction manual. And when it comes to hiring our people, we don't have an instruction manual. So we tend to go through life specifically with the people that we employ, and we push the wrong buttons, expecting them all to do the same thing. But we need to understand our people better. And so what the Profile PXT does is it helps to measure certain elements in people that you simply cannot see when you're doing an interview with someone, that you simply cannot see when you're looking at their CV or their resume. And what the PXT does is it allows you to measure your people. And the statement has always been made, I can't really manage something if I have not yet measured it. And so the Profile XT measures certain job-related attributes which will allow me to understand my people better within the work environment. Therefore, being able to coach them better, manage them better, and help them to experience the careers of their dreams.